Hey everyone, welcome back to FCN's broadcast of the Sunday edition. I am TheRayvolution, and joining me for this here segment about the state of the Black Hollywood address is J. Cole is it of FCN's 2 broadcasts. What's the name of your little show that you guys have over there?
My little show, my little ditty. True Baller Thursday with the Reggie Mathis.
Can you spell that for me?
True, True. Baller.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks. So he's a host of some show about, is it about hip hop artists?
No, it's about basketball, NBA basketball.
Moguls? Is it about drug?
It's about more
kingpins?
ratings than the Tuesday show.
About kingpins of the drug variety. Mm-hmm. So, about thuggery. About all sorts of thugonomics. Thuggery. And you and the Reggie Mathis, don't let nobody fool you. The Reggie Mathis is thug supreme. He is thugonomics supreme, okay? Do not let him fool you. He is from the main streets of the East Side. He is not a nice black man. He's not nice. No, he's not a nice black man. His brother is, his son is, he's not.
He's not.
Everybody around him.
He's a mean man.
He's a mean motor scooter that the Reggie Mathis don't, he will, one of these and one of these and one of those. He's a very bad guy.
I'm rethinking.
Always helping his mama at the church. Don't let that man fool you. You might think about getting you a new
co-host?
Yeah, he's a bad man. He's a very bad man. So this weekend, new film came out, but you know we've had a lot going on in Black Hollywood.
Yes,
a lot of happening in Black Hollywood.
Oh yes.
Ava a while ago she was the first Black female director granted a $100 million film. Ryan Coogler was granted a $200 million film. Jordan Peele was first to get. Was he the first to have a box office of excess of? No, he wasn't the first to have $200 million because I think that was F. Gary Grant. It was. You know, something. My research is off here. But nevertheless, there were a lot of firsts in Black Hollywood.
Well, he became the first Black director or the Black writer to win Best Screenplay.
Well, yeah, I was going to get to that. Okay. But he definitely had something with his success with his film. With the film and his box office success.
Okay.
And so this is obviously turning some tides in Black Hollywood, and we're all wondering where this goes.
Yes.
So the first thing that we're going to have to talk about, because where this show airs is after box office numbers come out. So we had to shift some things around. So to start the show off, we have to talk about A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay.
So let's talk about A Wrinkle in Time.
Let's talk about it.
A Wrinkle in Time's box office numbers came out today, and they are, where are they at?
Where are they? Do you have those numbers? Because I didn't.
You didn't have them? Okay. If I'm not mistaken, they are, bear with me here, I believe they are at
33 million.
33 million.
Which is, might I add, on Thursday, TheRayvolution and I were having a discussion, and he said 30 million for Wrinkle in Time this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why I said it was going to make $30 million this weekend. Black Panther had just made $65 million the previous weekend. And I said, even if they split the box office, which I said they were going to do, I didn't think that they were going to do anything more than that. I said, Black Panther's probably going to make another $35 million. Right? I said, Black Panther's probably going to come in at $35 million.
41.
Right? And it came in at 41. I said you got the same audience and you're splitting the audience, right? So let's talk about that, right? People are already talking that there's a lot of people saying Jamie Broadnax of Black Girl Nerds, she's also a critic for Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
She gave it a 4 out of 5 review. There are a lot of people who gave it a lot lower review on Rotten Tomatoes. It does not have a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It is very mixed reviews by critics overall.
Yeah.
There are people saying that everyone is saying visually, it looks great.
Stunning.
Visually stunning. They're saying that the actors and the actresses did great jobs, but they are not happy with the story and the pace.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
Ava has gone on to say that this was the exact film that she set out to make, and she is happy with it.
Okay.
She is literally saying she is happy with the film. This is the film that she wanted to make, right?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you all out there, I did not watch the film. I'm not, able to get out and do a whole lot, right? So I have not gone out and seen the film, so do not come for me. However, I want to, as soon as I can get out and about. I have a neurologist appointment tomorrow. After that, we'll see where I'm at, and I will try to see it as soon as possible, physically possible. So here's the thing. Let's just talk about the box office.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
I blame Disney.
Yes.
I do not blame Ava. I do not blame the story.
Yep.
I do not listen. There were worse films throughout history that have had better box office openings.
True.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
There were better films that didn't do well. John Carter of Mars was not a horrible movie.
It wasn't.
It was not.
I actually didn't think I would, but I enjoyed that movie.
John Carter of Mars was actually a pretty good movie. Ender's Game was not bad. Like, there are certain films that were much better, right? The problem is, let me tell you this. Disney did not hedge their bets correctly with these films. They said, hey, we got 2 black directors. This is what we're going to do. We're going to ride the coattails of one,
right,
and then we're going to have that audience come in and ride that wave into the next film. But what they did not see is that Black Panther was gonna be as big. Oh, sorry guys, was gonna be as big as it was moving into.
Yeah. So what they did was they got on the wave too early and it crashed over them.
Yeah, I just don't think that they saw that Black Panther was gonna be this big. They didn't. They did not.
Why not?
Can we discuss that later?
Yeah, we can.
Can we discuss?
We can put a pin in
it. Well, let's put a pin in it, and we'll discuss that later. So I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about that. But I will say, I'm putting the blame in that on the studio.
Yeah. Yes. It was ill-timed.
It's ill-timed. It was bad booking. You do not. This is your decision to put your 2 tent poles on top of each other. It's not smart.
Right.
It's not a smart play to put your 2 first-time black directors in your studio on top of one another, to split your audience, your 2 black audiences apart from one another, and then to bring in families and to make people have to choose.
Right.
And you look at that combined, that's 74 change million dollars.
Yeah.
That if you had to let Black Panther play out, could have,
they
like you could have
premiered at 50.
No, they could have gotten about 60.
60, yeah.
They could have gotten
60,
about $60 million, which I thought that they would have gotten had Black Panther not been around.
Right.
I said they'll get about $60 million. That's what I legitimately thought they would get.
Yep.
Even with the hype machine, I never thought that they would exceed $60 million. I just didn't.
Yeah.
And nothing against Ava. Nothing against, but it's just, it wasn't one of those things where I just felt like the book was written in the 60s.
Yeah.
It just, I just never knew people to just have that big of a fanfare for A Wrinkle in Time.
Right.
I didn't. I just never did. So let's move on. Let's move on to Jordan Peele.
Okay.
We haven't really talked about his monumental win. The Oscars, what was it, last week?
Yep.
Was it last week?
Last week, yes.
Last week, Jordan Peele became the first African-American man or person, period.
Yeah,
excuse me, I apologize. African-American person to win screenplay, best original screenplay.
Original screenplay, yes.
And so it was well-deserved. It was well deserved.
Yes.
Get Out was an amazing script. It was an amazing feature film.
Yes, it was.
Let me say this to you. About that, right? I liken his win to Barack Obama's win in the 2000. When did he win? 2008.
So it was 2008. Yes.
2008,
Yep,
correct?
Yep.
I liken it to him winning in 2008.
And how so?
I'll tell you why. 70 years prior to that, we got what? What did we receive 70 years prior to that?
Was the right to vote?
Right?
Yep.
70 years.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Emancipation Proclamation, all that, right? Right? So we were able to have a president. Just because we got that win now doesn't really mean it was a symbolic victory.
Okay.
We were able, we've had people able to win.
Right.
Right? So here's my point, right? Let's look at 1989. We can talk about all the people, but let's look at a legitimate candidate, right? Let's look at a legitimate candidate. Let's look at 1989.
Okay.
1989, a number, another summer. Sound of the funky drummer, right? Let's look at 1989, right?
Okay.
Which is a great year for cinema. Listen, you want to talk about Oscar years? One of the best Oscar years ever.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
You had Batman, you had Driving Miss Daisy, born on the 4th of July. This was a huge Oscar year.
Deadpool Society.
Oh, wait a minute. Sir. You move too fast, sir. So, now let's talk about original screenplays. Right? The original screenplays reads like a who's who of white privilege. Okay? It reads like a who's who of white privilege. Let me give you some shots here. Let's give me some. So there's a film that I've never seen before. And I believe it's called, what is it? Misdemeanors and Crimes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Crimes
and Misdemeanors.
You've seen that?
No. I just remember the name.
Crimes and Misdemeanors, right? Starring white people.
Yeah.
And who obviously...
Starring white people.
And I'm sure they get away with them. That's why they did a film. Crimes and Misdemeanors that we get away with, right? I'm sure nobody gets any time in this film, right? No time is served. Then you have Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
That's right.
Voyeurism. Yes. Sex, Lies, and Videotape. Where you can have sex, lie about it, and record it.
And watch it.
And watch it and don't get in trouble for revenge porn. See?
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun, baby.
Okay.
Then you have, what do you have in there? Is that Driving Miss? No, that's adapted. Driving Miss Day. When Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally. When a white woman could fake an orgasm in public and not be seen as indecent.
Yes. Yeah. No, people just want to know,
hey,
how'd she do it? I want that.
I want what she's having. Right?
Yeah.
Then you come along to a little ditty about a brother who just wanted a few packs of D batteries.
Yeah.
Just some D batteries, man.
Man.
On a hot day in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, it's a hot day in Brooklyn, New York, man.
Yeah.
It's a hot day. It's a hot day, baby.
Right, just some D batteries.
Just some
power that music.
That's it, man. He's just having a good day, right? Oh, and finally, you have the creme de la creme of white privilege. You have, if I remember correctly, a Eastern, I'm guessing, with all the foliage and the leaves of the trees, some fine Eastern boarding academy, a prep school of Ivy League upper crust, white gentlemen, bred of the finest privileged,
the finest strain of privilege,
white
on the Eastern Seaboard,
of whiteness,
honkydom personified.
Oh, honkydom extraordinaire. Who hate their fathers, and some white man jumping on top of tables screaming carpe diem and seas whatever.
Sees the whiteness.
Sees your whiteness, and Let me just say this, okay? Let me just say this.
Go.
Let me just say this. 1989. Spike Lee could have won. I said all that to say this.
Yep.
We could have had a black man become president 70 years ago, before 2008. We could have had a black man win it then if the Academy so decided to go, well, this is just as bold and daring as that is, right?
Yep.
Whatchamacallit did win that. Dead Poets Society won, right? That film never did anything for me. It didn't speak to me.
Right.
It didn't resonate with me. You know what movie did? You know what film, excuse me. You know what film resonated with me?
Do the right thing.
Do the Right Thing. Police brutality. Right now, that was 1989.
Yep.
1989. That film next year would be how old? 30 years.
30 years. Yeah.
That film will be 30 years next year, man. And guess what's happening? Police are still choking people out and killing them, and no one is getting in trouble for it. And racial tension is still at an all-time high in this nation. And you're telling me that that film didn't win for best of, come on.
Yep.
Come on. If that came out today, would that win? I would vote to say yes. I would probably say yes. Now it would be like, oh, it's an admiration. It's, oh my God, I can't believe that film is so bold and gritty to show. No, it was bold and gritty. Spike Lee is always ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
When you look at She's Gotta Have It, I couldn't believe as a kid. I was like, man, I didn't. And now we're just now able to understand how bold and free he made a black woman.
Right, and it's just now okay for women to speak like that. Like, oh, well, this is how I am.
This is how I am. I'm sexually free. I can date whoever I want to date. I can sleep with whomever I want to sleep with. And we're just now able to be accepting of a black woman owning her sexuality.
Yep.
So, I don't know. So my hat's off to Jordan. I wonder where he's going. I think that I kind of want him to distance himself from the race genre. I want to see him do something else. He's supposedly working with Spike. I think that's a huge no. I'm sorry, but Spike just deals too much in race.
Yeah.
I want him to move away from that immediately. Like, I don't want him to get pigeonholed in race.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be known as the director that just deals in that medium. It's like dealing with mercury. Do you know what dealing with mercury is like?
No.
You deal with mercury, you're going to get mercury poisoning.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So he's
it'll seep through.
Yeah, so you have to be careful in that. So my hat's off to Jordan. He's a very talented young man. He's not young. I think he's older than us. But nevertheless, one thing that is funny, though, people were, oh, now his wife is out. People were charging him with that, But what's funny is, where was she the entire time?
Yeah, absolutely.
She wasn't anywhere to be found, and then she did show up. And I'm not.
It was an open secret. Like,
it was
people who know, but we're not exactly advertising this.
Yeah, she wasn't anywhere to be seen. But I don't care. Whatever, Yeah. He's mixed. So
right.
But what does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It means he likes women that look like his mom.
It's going to be a topic for today. We're going to deal with that later. We touch that later. And so Jumanji. Let's talk about this little engine that could, like legitimately, right? Legitimately, right? So Jumanji, let me tell y'all something right now. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is easily the king of Black Hollywood. Okay?
Okay.
Jumanji we're all celebrating Black Panther for crossing the $1 billion mark, right?
Yep.
Jumanji is at globally $930 million. $930 million, right?
Yep.
With the washed up Jack Black. This dude is washed.
Right.
He is ass, booty, butt. He's done. He's done. The only reason why he's in this movie is because they ran out of budget and they was like, hey, we need a white dude. And And they was like, oh, you know who we can get? Get that fool-ass white boy, Jack Black. He ain't got nothing else to do.
That fool ass.
Put him in this. And he was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Who was this white broad?
I don't know who
we
she
don't
is.
know who she is.
Never seen her before.
We don't know who she is.
I didn't know it was called Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle.
Hey, it doesn't matter. It's just called Rock Jungle Action Summer Flick 106. Okay? Oh,
Yep.
and throw his buddy Kevin Hart in there.
Kevin Hart goes in there.
Kevin Hart goes in there.
Those
And
two
look,
make beautiful music together.
hey, to the tune of $931 million globally.
Yep.
And listen,
Yep.
listen, do me a favor. What is the foreign take on that?
It is 536 million.
And what is the percentage of the box office?
57% of the total gross.
So 57% of the total gross of this film is from the foreign market.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
How much is the budget for Jumanji? Welcome to the Jungle.
Budget of Jumanji was...
It's $90 million.
It was $90 million.
It's $90 million,
Yep.
right? Do they have a huge all-star cast?
No.
No,
No,
it's
they
a
have
no.
Rock, Kevin Hart,
That's it.
washed up.
You stop there. You stop there. They don't have Angela Bassett. They don't have Forrest Whitaker's Sleepy Eye. They don't have Michael B. Jordan's
Michael B.
Amazing
Jordan.
Body. They don't have
Up and, on the rise, Lupita.
On the Rise. Lupita has arrived a long time ago. On the Rise is what's her name? Shuri.
Shuri.
What's the actress's name? I can never remember her name.
don't know.
Yeah.
Letitia,
Yeah. Listen, man. Listen. They have Dwayne. Dwayne. Look at this, man. 50% of this cast is white.
Yep.
57% of this box office comes from the
Overseas.
foreign
Yep.
market. That is telling you something. It's not all black.
Right.
It is enough white that people around the world are like, okay, yeah, let's go see it. It's not all black. It's not all black. Let's go see it.
Right.
This film is very successful. And here's another thing that I want to talk about this film, right? Where are the Pacific Islanders congratulating Dwayne Johnson at? You know, because they only want to congratulate Jason Momoa's success and want to talk about black people like, well, when are you guys going to celebrate others besides yourself? Well,
Right.
when are you guys going to celebrate him?
Right.
He has tribal tattoos.
Yes, he does.
He claims his Pacific Islander heritage.
Yes, he does.
Where are you guys at? He's almost made $1 billion. And he didn't need no stupid ass DCEU terrible ass franchise. He did it with terrible ass Jack Black.
Yes, on a remake of a movie we already saw.
Listen, man, we don't even have, he did it with Jungle Action Movie 106.
There you go.
Right? Like, let's talk. This dude is box office diamonds, pearls, gold, and white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired babies. The most precious commodity known to man. Male, blue-eyed baby.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Heavy water, uranium, and male, blue-eyed baby. It's how you make nuclear weapons. You gotta have white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby.
That's the secret ingredient.
Hell yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. He has it.
Yeah.
Sauce.
It's got the sauce.
Oh, he's got it in spades. But where's everybody talking about it? Why are we not? See, like, I think we're only talking about what everyone else is talking about. We're only talking about what the memes and what gifs and what the tastemakers are talking about. Because Kevin Hart's black.
Yep.
The Rock's part black.
Yep.
The Rock is a Pacific Islander.
Yep.
They're almost at $1 billion.
Yep.
They only had $90 million. Like, these are facts, ladies and gentlemen. These are facts.
Yeah.
Where's the celebration at for their success? I'm asking. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for my FCN friends out there because they want to know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Where is the narrative for a Pacific Islander? For an African American? for box office.
So you're
success.
saying that the people that even call for these things aren't choosing the things that they're calling for.
Exactamundo. Here it is. Here's another one.
They're still being spoon-fed
Here's another one.
what to
Here's another
cape
one.
for.
Yes, no, because they want it all. It's all or nothing with these people. They got to have it all. It's got to be a black director, a black producer, a black writer. It's got to, like, look, man, we're still out here. We're still doing it. You know, like, you all were caping for DC. Y'all were caping for Zach.
Yeah.
You were
Suicide Squad. Like, God. What?
y'all cape for all kind of stuff, but here it is. What am I missing? Help me out. Help me out. And so this moves on to my next point. We talked about Dwayne, right? Look at that. Tribal tattoos. He's clearly part black, part Pacific Islander, right? His mother is from the island of Samoa, right? Wide, proud Samoan nostrils. Wide Samoan nostrils.
Okay.
Thick, kinky Samoan hair. So let's move on to I want to move on to something else.
Okay.
I want to kill a narrative. I really need to kill a narrative.
Let's do it.
Black folks in general are bothering me about the Black Panther, right? And they are starting this misinformation campaign that blacks are accepted globally because the Black Panther has crossed $1 billion. Right? It's a little misleading.
Yes.
It's a little misleading. Okay? And we have a problem here because we're taking too many symbolic victories. And you should start asking certain questions. We should start asking certain questions. And you can't hold everybody accountable, but you should really look at what you're talking about. So let's really look at the numbers about actual foreign market success. Because here's the thing. Disney, since Marvel joined Disney has a long foreign market reach and distribution.
Oh, yes.
They're in every country. Boy, they're like America in military, okay? We got bases everywhere. Disney has distribution everywhere. Okay?
Yep.
So let's look at the films, right? Starting when Disney and Marvel linked up. We're going to start with the least successful, the least financially successful, moving all the way up, right? And I believe it starts with Ant-Man, right?
All right.
So the domestic take of Ant-Man is 180, foreign 339. For 65% of its budget, 65% of its gross
yes,
was from the foreign market.
And that was a bad movie.
Yes.
By the way.
Very. Okay? 65% of the people that saw that film came from the foreign market. 65%. Thor: Dark World. 68% of the people who saw this, 68% of the people, and you all hate it. Let's be very clear. You all hate Thor: Dark World, but the world loved Thor. The world, look at this. Look at this number down here.
Yeah.
438 million. Look at this cast now. Look at this cast, people, to the tune of 438 million.
And right there, there's the black guy. If you squint, you can tell that might be
he might be
Idris.
Might be a shadow, perhaps. Maybe some type of wizard. Look at this, Doctor Strange. 65%. This film did $445 million in the foreign market. 404. Doctor Strange, and then you have Benedict Cumberbatch coming out of the Stargate there. He's coming out of the Stargate.
That's what happened.
And then look at this, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier there.
63%.
63%. Look at him, getting ready to storm the beaches of
Captain
Iwo Jima.
America.
Captain America.
is doing better overseas than in America.
The guy that's bombing the hell out of everybody
he went over there.
raping and pillaging and droning, the guy that has been droning the shit out of everybody for the last 70 years is like, you know what, my friend? Hey, he bombed and killed my cousin on Ramadan, but you know what? He makes one hell of a movie.
Hey, Chris Pine.
Yeah, it's Chris Pine. What can I say? It's Chris Pine. How can you not love him?
How can you not?
It's Chris Pine. He's very inclusive.
He's inclusive, exactly.
He's very
his
inclusive.
tweets. Let's just look at his tweets.
Look at his tweets.
He capes for black women.
Yes, he loves the black women. Thor Ragnarok. Again, look at Negro. He in the back with his locks out now. And who twists his locks? Who in Asgard is doing his locks? Let's talk about that. She don't live in Asgard. She been gone for a long time. They don't know each other. And she ain't doing them
I think it was
locks.
Loki.
It was Loki?
I think so.
You trying to say something? You trying to say something without saying it? Look at it, 63%. Look at that, $538 million.
Yeah. Yep.
In the foreign market.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, 440 for 56%. Let's say 57%.
7%, yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This is actually the lowest one, 473 for 55%. Civil War, look at this, 64%, $745 million in the foreign market.
Yep.
Look at that. Look at that. Iron Man 3, the worst, let's be very clear here. This film, of all of these films, of all of these, this film is absolute ass booty butt. This film is absolute trash. Absolute trash. 66%. 66%.
It almost made $1 billion overseas by itself.
I'm going to get to my point here. Look at this. Look at this. $800 million, right?
Yep.
Avengers.
Yep.
Ultron!
You just say Age of Ultron made $1 billion overseas.
Ultron, 67% of Ultron. Mm-hmm. Black Panther. Look at this. 48% of its take is in the foreign market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go back one. You see that?
No, let's go back two.
Let's go back two. So the combined aren't that. The combined for these, and of course Black Panther's still earning. We just made 46 this last weekend, so they're still building these.
Yes,
numbers.
domestically,
right?
Domestically,
right. So these numbers are still building, but
I do not think they're talking about China. Mm-hmm. They're talking about China. Look. Let's call a spade. We didn't pull it all out here. We didn't pull it all out here, right? So. Look at this, man. Look. I done made my point here. Look at this. I done made my point. When are you all gonna? I'm gonna leave it here. I made my point. When are we gonna acknowledge that the world has a problem with black folks? And we're always talking about like like this big controversy with Bruno Mars and people wanting their black music from anybody but blacks. But when you have something like this, the proof is in the pudding. If you take this exact same film and you make this film white, the proof is in the pudding. This film would look more like this in the foreign market.
Yeah,
it would have made Black Panther would have made more to the tune of $900 million in the foreign market. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. You can debate me. If Black Panther had this, if it were white, it would have made $900 million in the foreign market. It hasn't because it is a black cast.
Yep.
This film.
So we'd be at $1.5 billion right now.
Can I be honest with you? If it is at 9, we should be kind of I see what you're saying. We should be around there. It should truthfully be getting closer to like 1.8. it should be getting up there with Titanic or Avatar. It should be getting up there with Avatar. This should be one of the biggest films. And I'm not just saying it because it's black, man, but because it is so good. It's so fresh. You cannot tell me it is not more different than this.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me it's not more different than 800 million. It should easily have 800 million in the foreign market. It should easily have 890, but nobody wants to tell the truth because we only want to take the damn symbolic victories. Well, it made $1 billion. We always want to settle. Trey, do you have something that you want to say back there? Because I need, what am I missing? What am I missing?
Well, no, I don't think you're missing anything. I think we've made these comments before on Sunday editions about people really not understanding the film industry in general and how things work in Hollywood in general.
Yeah.
Why people cast who they cast. Really understanding how black people are seen in foreign markets. Like, there's a whole bunch that they don't understand. And I think and I always have to go to Black Twitter because that's where a lot of thoughts, at least that I see on social media, that seeing all of these black people on camera and all the black people who are behind the camera, and they're willing and ready to take these visible symbolic victories. And we see this across the board, even as they fight for, and I put fight in quotation marks, as they try to fight for equality and justice and racial equality in many platforms. They take the surface level everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can even talk about no Confederate. We all stop at that surface level rather than digging deep. And I just think it comes from a lack of really understanding what fighting and be revolutionary really is, but at the same time, in this context, not understanding the film and movie industry. I've learned a lot just being a part of the FCN family, and I know that most of the black intellectuals on Twitter have no idea what they're even talking about.
Yeah, so on top of that, what Trezane just said, understanding, like knowing that, and then taking, because it's not like you're sitting here saying don't celebrate $1 billion. That's an amazing for any movie, no matter what. $1 billion is not something that many movies have done in history. Right. But don't now take that and say, well, now we should, this should all be what is being produced. When you take a look and say, well, this is why movie studios are still picking these kind of movies, because these are the numbers they could put up without thinking about it.
Without thinking.
And most of those movies that we just saw did not have a $200 million budget. Let's not, they invested a lot into making this movie great. They invested a lot, and we're not just talking about who they picked for the director, writer, cast, all that. Money. They invested a lot. I don't know what the budget on most of those, but what do you think? Maybe 3 of those are around that budget that are on that list?
Around what budget?
The $200 million.
A lot of them are around 2.
Are they?
A lot of them are over 2. A lot of them are over 2.
Over 2 million?
Over 200 million. Yeah, the Avengers are over $200 million.
Yeah, and they bringing in 600 domestic, 900 foreign.
Yeah.
$900 million overseas.
And they don't have the cast that the Black Panther has.
And you can fail on a movie, in relative terms, like a Thor: Dark World or Ultron, which to me was not a good movie. I'm sorry.
Right.
And you still making how much overseas? $700, $800, $900 million overseas.
Listen. Ask me how much Justice League costs.
How much did Justice League cost?
$350 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
$350 million.
That was why?
And they're still talking to this day about doing dumbass decisions. They dumb. So white people get to mess up and make all the dumbest decisions in the world, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody bats an eye. But Do you think that, where do you think moving forward that black directors, black writers, are they going to let us take chances? Do you think, here's my thing. Let me ask you all a question. Does anyone in here think Tyler Perry's going to take a risk and he's going to come out into dealing in science fiction? Is he going to come out in the fandom? Does anybody think he's going to take a risk? Risk?
I don't.
No,
I
I don't.
think that if he does it, it's because other black writers and directors would ask him to come apart. But I
He
don't
may
think on an initiative he would.
He may produce. I don't think he would write.
But that's him taking a risk.
Yeah.
Producing
if
is
someone
still
comes to him, then yes, I can see that. But I don't. If pressed, I would say no. I'm going to say no.
I mean, on any level, produce, direct, on any level.
Nope.
No, Trey.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I think that's so out of his wheelhouse, and he just has. I don't see him doing it.
Okay.
I see Oprah, maybe. You know what I mean?
Nah,
But
I don't see Oprah.
You don't see Oprah
Nope.
being a part of something like that? I would see her doing
Maybe
4 or 5.
producing. Yeah. Okay.
Well, because she was in Wrinkle in Time. That's
Yeah, she was. Yeah. True. Touche. I see her though helping Ava, literally lending every bit of her star power to make that work. And I really wish I had a lot more inside information on why. Like, what is her interest in Ava? I think that she, Oprah grooms people. She groomed Dr. Phil. She groomed, what's the little chunky?
Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray. She groomed Dr. Oz. She groomed Tyra.
Mm-hmm.
She groomed, what's her name, the comedian that has her daytime talk show? Ellen.
Oh, Ellen.
She groomed Ellen. A lot of people don't know that. She groomed Ellen.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. She groomed Ellen. She helped Ellen get that deal. So, I don't know. So, what's the next one that we have?